The core idea of the slight edge is both simple and transformative. Jeff Olson argues that success doesn't come from massive, one-time actions or dramatic changes. Instead, it's the result of small, daily choices made consistently over time. These choices are easy to do, but they are also easy not to do. Success and failure are not sudden events, but gradual processes driven by these small choices. Olson introduces the idea that the most important decisions you make every day may seem trivial in the moment, but over time, they accumulate to create either success or failure. The challenge lies in the fact that the consequences of these decisions are not immediately visible. It's easy to dismiss the significance of reading 10 pages of a self-development book today or skipping dessert at dinner. But Olson shows that these small actions compound over time, creating either a slight upward or downward curve in your life. In this introduction, Olson sets the tone for the entire book by asking readers to shift their mindset. Instead of focusing on grandiose plans or quick fixes, he urges readers to focus on what he calls simple disciplines, small, daily habits that may not seem impactful in the short term, but are the key to long-term success. Chapter 1. Understanding the Slight Edge. What is the slight edge? Olson begins by explaining what exactly the slight edge is. It's the philosophy of taking small, consistent actions over time to create massive success. He draws a distinction between success and failure, arguing that both are the result of small, seemingly insignificant choices. The slight edge is about choosing the path of small, positive actions every day rather than falling into the trap of neglect or complacency. Olson emphasizes that most people are looking for a big, dramatic solution to their problems, whether it's losing weight, making more money, or finding happiness. However, these dramatic changes rarely produce lasting results. Instead, the slight edge teaches that true success comes from making simple, positive decisions on a daily basis and sticking to them, even when the results aren't immediately visible. The compound effect of small actions. One of the key points Olson makes is that time amplifies the effects of your daily actions. He uses the example of compound interest in finance to illustrate how small actions compound over time. Whether you're saving money, exercising, or investing in personal growth, the same principle applies. Small efforts build on each other and lead to massive results over time. Olson stresses that the slight edge works both ways. If you consistently make positive decisions, such as reading for 10 minutes a day, exercising regularly, or saving a small percentage of your income, these actions compound and lead to success. Conversely, if you neglect these small actions or make poor decisions, like skipping your workouts or spending money carelessly, these too will compound, leading to failure. Success and failure as curves. Olson introduces the concept of success and failure as curves rather than events. He visualizes success as a slight upward curve that begins with small, positive actions. Initially, the curve doesn't seem to change much. You might not notice any immediate difference in your life. But over time, as you continue making small positive choices, the curve starts to rise sharply, leading to massive success. Failure, on the other hand, is represented by a slight downward curve. It begins with small, negative actions like skipping a workout or spending beyond your means that don't seem to have much impact at first. But over time, these small, negative actions compound, leading to failure. This visualization helps readers understand that success and failure are not sudden events but gradual processes that are driven by daily choices. Chapter 2. Mastering Simple Disciplines. The difference between simple disciplines and errors in judgment. In this chapter, Olson explains the difference between what he calls simple disciplines and simple errors in judgment. Simple disciplines are small, positive actions that are easy to do. They are the daily habits that lead to long-term success, such as eating a healthy meal, exercising, or reading. On the other hand, simple errors in judgment are small, negative actions that are easy to neglect, like skipping a workout or eating junk food. Olson argues that both simple disciplines and simple errors in judgment are easy to do, but they are also easy not to do. This is why so many people fail to make lasting changes in their lives. It's not because they lack the ability or motivation, but because they underestimate the power of small actions compounded over time. The choice between easy to do and easy not to do. One of the key points Olson makes in this chapter is that the path to success is often easy. It's just a matter of consistently making small, positive choices. However, the challenge is that these choices are also easy to neglect. It's easy to read 10 pages of a book each day, but it's also easy not to. It's easy to eat a healthy meal, but it's also easy to grab fast food instead. The slight edge is about choosing what's easy to do, even when it's easier not to. Daily Disciplines in Action. Olson provides numerous examples of how small disciplines can lead to success in different areas of life. For instance, if you want to improve your health, you don't need to overhaul your diet or spend hours at the gym. Instead, you can start with small steps, like going for a 10-minute walk each day or cutting out sugary drinks. Over time, these small actions will add up, leading to significant improvements in your health. Similarly, if you want to improve your finances, you don't need to make drastic changes. You can start by saving a small percentage of your income each month or paying off a little extra on your credit card debt. These small actions may not seem like much at first, but over time, they will add up and lead to financial success. The importance of consistency. Olson emphasizes that the key to success is consistency. It's not about making big changes all at once, but about committing to small, positive actions every day. This requires discipline and patience, as the results of these actions are not always immediate. However, Olson argues that if you stay consistent and trust the process, the slight edge will work in your favor. Chapter 3. The Power of Time. Time is your ally in this chapter. Olson explains that time is one of the most powerful forces working in your favor or against you, depending on how you use it. He argues that success is not about instant gratification, but about allowing time to amplify the effects of your small, daily actions. This is why patience is essential to the slight edge philosophy. You may not see immediate results from your efforts, but over time, they will compound and lead to massive success. The compound effect. Over time, Olson uses the analogy of a penny doubling in value every day for 30 days. While it may seem insignificant at first, by the end of the 30 days, the penny has grown into over $5 million. This is the power of compound interest, and Olson argues that the same principle applies to every area of life. Whether you're working on your health, finances, or personal growth, the small actions you take today will compound over time, leading to exponential results. Why most people give up too soon. One of the biggest obstacles to success, according to Olson, is that most people give up too soon. They expect immediate results and get discouraged when they don't see them. Olson argues that this is where the slight edge philosophy is crucial. Success takes time, and the results of your efforts may not be visible in the short term. However, if you stay consistent and trust the process, the rewards will come. Olson encourages readers to stay patient and persistent, even when progress seems slow. He argues that the real key to success is sticking with your simple disciplines over the long term. This is where most people fail. They give up just before the slight edge starts to work in their favor. Chapter 4. Attitude and Philosophy. Philosophy drives attitude. In this chapter, Olson explores the connection between your philosophy, your attitude, and your results. He argues that the way you think shapes how you feel and ultimately what you do. This is why changing your mindset is so important to achieving success. Olson emphasizes that a success-oriented philosophy is one that values small, consistent actions and long-term thinking. It's about adopting the belief that success is not a destination, but a journey. This mindset shift is crucial to embracing the slight edge philosophy and staying committed to your daily disciplines. The power of a positive attitude. Olson also highlights the importance of maintaining a positive attitude. He argues that a positive attitude is not just about feeling good, it's about staying focused on your goals and believing in your ability to achieve them. A positive attitude helps you stay motivated and resilient, even when faced with challenges or setbacks. Building a success-oriented philosophy. Olson provides practical advice for building a success-oriented philosophy. He encourages readers to focus on continuous learning, personal growth, and staying open to new opportunities. He also stresses the importance of surrounding yourself with positive influences and people who support your goals. Overcoming a failure-oriented mindset. In this section, Olson confronts the common mental obstacles that prevent people from achieving their potential. A failure-oriented mindset often stems from the belief that success is either the result of luck or extraordinary talent. People with this mindset tend to believe that if they can't achieve success quickly, they never will. As a result, they either don't start working toward their goals or quit too soon when they don't see immediate results. Olson encourages readers to reject this mindset by embracing the idea that success is not instantaneous, but is built through small, consistent efforts over time. He suggests that failure is not a reflection of one's abilities or worth, but rather a sign that adjustments need to be made. By shifting focus away from immediate outcomes and toward the process of continuous improvement, readers can cultivate resilience and perseverance. One of Olson's key arguments is that a failure-oriented mindset leads to a vicious cycle. When people believe they are destined to fail, they stop taking action, which reinforces the belief that they can't succeed. To break free from this cycle, Olson advises adopting a can-do attitude and focusing on small, manageable tasks that can be completed every day. Over time, these small wins build confidence and momentum, shifting the mindset from failure to success. Chapter 5. Personal development as the foundation for success. Success begins with personal growth. Olson makes the case that all external success, whether in health, relationships, or finances, stems from internal personal development. In this chapter, he emphasizes the importance of continually improving yourself if you want to achieve lasting success in any area of life. He argues that personal development is the foundation on which all other achievements are built. He explains that personal growth is not a one-time event, but an ongoing process. It involves learning new skills, gaining knowledge, developing emotional intelligence, and cultivating self-awareness. Olson encourages readers to adopt the habit of continuous learning and self-improvement, no matter where they are in life. Small daily actions for personal growth. Olson outlines specific small actions that readers can take to foster personal development. These actions include reading for at least 10 minutes a day, listening to educational podcasts, journaling, practicing mindfulness, and setting aside time for reflection. While these activities may seem minor in the moment, Olson stresses that over time, they lead to significant personal growth and expanded opportunities. By committing to these small daily disciplines, readers can gradually develop the knowledge, skills, and mindset necessary to achieve their larger goals. Olson reinforces the idea that personal development is not about making giant leaps, but about taking consistent steps forward. Lifelong learning. One of Olson's key messages is that personal development should be a lifelong pursuit. He warns against the temptation to become complacent after achieving a certain level of success. Instead, he urges readers to keep learning and growing, as this is the only way to maintain and build on their achievements. Whether it's reading new books, attending seminars, or seeking out mentors, Olson believes that those who commit to lifelong learning are more likely to achieve long-term success. Chapter 6. The Slight Edge in Health. Health as a long-term investment. In this chapter, Olson applies the slight edge philosophy to physical health, explaining that just like success in other areas of life, good health is the result of small, consistent actions over time. He emphasizes that health is not something you can achieve overnight or through extreme measures. Instead, it is a long-term investment that requires daily commitment to positive habits. Olson argues that many people struggle with their health because they are looking for quick fixes, whether it's crash diets, intense workout programs, or miracle supplements. These approaches may yield short-term results, but they are rarely sustainable. The real key to lasting health, according to Olson, is adopting small, manageable habits that you can maintain for the rest of your life. Small habits for health. Olson provides examples of small, daily health habits that can have a significant impact over time. These include walking for 30 minutes each day, drinking more water, and cutting out sugary drinks, incorporating more fruits and vegetables into your meals, getting enough sleep each night, practicing mindfulness or meditation to reduce stress. He explains that while these actions may seem insignificant, they compound over time and lead to major improvements in physical and mental well-being. Olson encourages readers to start with just one or two of these habits and build from there, rather than trying to overhaul their entire lifestyle at once. The compound effect in health. Olson revisits the concept of the compound effect to explain how small health habits accumulate over time. He uses the example of weight loss to illustrate how small, daily changes, such as cutting 100 calories a day, can lead to significant weight loss over the course of a year. He contrasts this with the common approach of trying to lose weight quickly through drastic dieting or extreme exercise, which often leads to burnout and failure. By focusing on small, sustainable changes, readers can avoid the cycle of yo-yo dieting and inconsistent exercise. Olson emphasizes that the slight edge approach to health is not about achieving perfection, but about making incremental improvements that lead to lasting results. Chapter 7. Financial Success Through the Slight Edge, Building Wealth with Small Financial Decisions. In this chapter, Olson turns his attention to personal finance, explaining how the slight edge philosophy applies to building wealth. Just as with health and personal development, financial success is not about making one big move or getting lucky. It's about consistently making smart, small financial decisions over time. Olson argues that many people struggle with their finances because they either don't know where to start or they try to make drastic changes all at once. For example, they might try to save a large portion of their income or invest in high-risk ventures in hopes of getting rich quickly. However, these approaches are often unsustainable or lead to significant losses. Instead, Olson advocates for a slow, steady approach to building wealth through small, consistent actions. These actions include saving a small percentage of your income each month, paying off credit card debt, incrementally investing regularly. Even if it's just a small amount, avoiding impulsive spending, and living below your means. The compound effect in personal finance. Olson explains that just like with health and personal development, the compound effect is at work in personal finance. Small financial habits, such as saving $5 a day or investing $100 a month, may not seem like much in the short term, but over time, they can lead to significant financial gains. He uses the example of compound interest to show how small investments grow exponentially over time. For instance, a modest investment in a retirement account, if consistently maintained, can grow into a substantial sum by the time you retire. The key, Olson argues, is to start early and stay consistent. Avoiding financial pitfalls. Olson also addresses the common financial pitfalls that many people fall into, such as debt and impulsive spending. He argues that these are the result of small, negative financial decisions that compound over time. For example, using a credit card for small, unnecessary purchases may not seem like a big deal in a moment, but over time, it can lead to significant debt. Olson encourages readers to be mindful of their financial habits and to make small, positive changes that will lead to financial success in the long run. By consistently making smart financial decisions, readers can avoid debt, build wealth, and achieve financial independence. Chapter 8. The Slight Edge in Relationships, Building Strong Relationships Through Small Actions. In this chapter, Olson explores how the slight edge philosophy applies to relationships, whether with family, friends, or colleagues. He argues that just like success in other areas of life, strong, fulfilling relationships are the result of small, consistent actions over time. Olson explains that many people neglect their relationships because they believe that grand gestures or major efforts are what matter most. While these may have an impact in the short term, Olson argues that the real key to building strong relationships is the accumulation of small, positive actions, such as showing appreciation, being a good listener, and spending quality time together. The power of small, consistent efforts. Olson provides examples of how small, daily actions can strengthen relationships. These include expressing gratitude regularly, sending a thoughtful text, or making a quick phone call to check in, listening actively and empathetically during conversations, being present and attentive when spending time with loved ones. He emphasizes that while these actions may seem minor, they build trust, connection, and intimacy over time. Just as with health and finances, the slight edge in relationships is about doing small things consistently rather than waiting for big moments to make an impact. Avoiding neglect. Olson warns against the tendency to neglect relationships because of busy schedules or the assumption that they don't require daily attention. He explains that just as positive actions compound to strengthen relationships, neglect can compound to weaken them. For example, failing to make time for a friend or partner on a regular basis can lead to a gradual distancing that, over time, erodes the relationship. Olson encourages readers to be proactive in nurturing their relationships through small, consistent efforts, even when life gets busy. Chapter 9. The Ripple Effect of the Slight Edge. The slight edge and the ripple effect. In this chapter, Olson introduces the concept of the ripple effect, which refers to the way in which small actions, when repeated consistently, can have a far-reaching impact beyond the individual. He explains that when you adopt the slight edge philosophy in your own life, you not only transform your own success and happiness, but you also influence the people around you. For example, by committing to personal growth, you inspire others to do the same. By adopting healthy habits, you encourage your friends and family to follow suit. By being consistent in your efforts at work, You set an example for those around you, creating a culture of discipline and excellence. The ripple effect expands beyond just you. It impacts your relationships, community, and even broader society. The slight edge is contagious in the best possible way. Creating a positive impact on others, Olson emphasizes that by living the slight edge principles, you naturally inspire others to do the same. He explains that people are often influenced by the behavior of those they admire, especially if they see consistent, positive results. Your success and habits can serve as a powerful example to others, whether it's in your personal relationships, your workplace, or your community. For example, if you consistently invest time in self-improvement and become healthier, wealthier, or more successful, those around you will notice. They'll see the power of small, consistent actions and may begin to apply those principles to their own lives. This creates a ripple effect where your efforts lead to a chain reaction of positive change in others. The ripple effect in leadership. Olson also discusses how leaders, in particular, can use the ripple effect to their advantage. Whether you're a manager, a parent, or a mentor, your actions and habits set an example for those you lead. By consistently applying the slight edge philosophy in your leadership, you create a culture of growth, discipline, and excellence. Your team, family, or community will begin to mirror these behaviors, leading to collective success. The ripple effect means that when you commit to your own success, you're not just changing your own life. You're also influencing and inspiring others to pursue their own growth and improvement. This is one of the most powerful aspects of the slight edge philosophy. Chapter 10. Living the slight edge every day. The slight edge as a daily habit. In this chapter, Olson emphasizes that the slight edge is not a one-time solution but a lifestyle. It's about making small, positive decisions every day that align with your long-term goals. Olson encourages readers to integrate the slight edge philosophy into their daily lives by focusing on consistency and discipline. One of the key points he makes is that success is not a destination, but a continuous journey. Even when you reach a certain level of success, the slight edge requires you to keep pushing forward. You don't stop reading after finishing one book, and you don't stop exercising once you've reached a fitness goal. The slight edge is about maintaining those habits over the long term to sustain and build on your success. Building daily routines. Olson offers practical advice for incorporating the slight edge into your daily routine. He encourages readers to start small, focusing on just a few key habits that align with their goals. Whether it's setting aside time for exercise, reading, or personal development, Olson explains that it's important to build a routine that you can stick with consistently. He also suggests creating systems to track your progress, such as using a journal or a habit tracker. This helps you stay accountable and ensures that you're making small, daily steps toward your long-term goals. Dealing with setbacks. Olson acknowledges that setbacks are inevitable, but he stresses that they don't have to derail your progress. He advises readers to expect challenges and to see them as part of the slight edge journey. Instead of getting discouraged, you should focus on getting back on track as quickly as possible. The key, Olson argues, is resilience. Success isn't about avoiding failure. It's about how you respond to it. When setbacks happen, don't give up on your daily disciplines. Instead, refocus on the small, positive actions you can take to regain momentum. The power of momentum. Olson discusses how the slight edge creates momentum over time. When you consistently make small, positive decisions, you build a sense of progress that fuels further action. Success breeds more success, and this momentum can carry you through difficult times or moments of doubt. He explains that once you've established momentum, maintaining your positive habits becomes easier. The initial effort required to start a new habit may be challenging, but once the habit is ingrained, it takes less mental energy to continue. This is why it's so important to stick with the slight edge in the early stages, because the rewards and ease of maintaining habits increase exponentially over time. Chapter 11. The Slight Edge and Leadership. Becoming a slight edge leader. In this chapter, Olson explores how the slight edge philosophy can be applied to leadership. Whether you're a leader in a formal role, like a manager or CEO, or an informal leader within your family or community, the slight edge can help you become more effective and inspire others. Olson argues that leadership is not about grand gestures or charismatic speeches. It's about consistency. The best leaders lead by example, demonstrating the power of small, daily actions. When a leader embodies the slight edge, They set the tone for their team or organization by modeling discipline, perseverance, and long-term thinking. Creating a culture of continuous improvement. One of the key points Olson makes is that leaders have the ability to create a culture of continuous improvement. By encouraging small, incremental changes and celebrating progress, leaders can foster an environment where growth and learning are valued. He contrasts this with traditional leadership models that focus on achieving big, short-term results. While quick wins may provide a temporary boost, Olson argues that the real key to success is fostering a culture of long-term, sustainable growth. When leaders focus on the process rather than the outcome, they empower their teams to make continuous improvements that compound over time. Empowering others through small actions, Olson emphasizes that one of the most important roles of a leader is to empower others. He argues that the slight edge philosophy is particularly powerful in leadership because it teaches people that success is within their reach. By showing others that they can achieve great things through small, consistent actions, leaders help their teams build confidence and take ownership of their success. He provides examples of how leaders can encourage their teams to adopt the slight edge, such as setting small, achievable goals, providing regular feedback, and celebrating daily progress. These small actions may seem insignificant, but over time, they create a culture of excellence and achievement. Chapter 12. Overcoming Obstacles and Resistance. Internal resistance. Why we sabotage ourselves. In this chapter, Olson addresses one of the most common challenges to applying the slight edge: internal resistance. He explains that many people sabotage their success because of self-doubt, fear of failure, or the desire for immediate gratification. These internal barriers often prevent people from sticking to their small, daily disciplines, even when they know those actions will lead to success. Olson argues that internal resistance comes from a mindset that values short-term comfort over long-term gain. For example, it's easier to watch TV than to go for a run, or to eat junk food rather than prepare a healthy meal. While these choices may feel good in the moment, they undermine long-term success. Strategies for overcoming resistance. Olson provides practical strategies for overcoming internal resistance and staying committed to the slight edge philosophy. One of the key strategies he recommends is breaking down tasks into smaller, more manageable steps. For example, if you're struggling to start a new habit, begin with just 5 minutes a day. By making the task so small that it feels easy, you reduce the likelihood of resistance. He also suggests focusing on the process rather than the outcome. Instead of getting discouraged by how far you have to go to achieve your goal, focus on the small, positive actions you can take today. Over time, these actions will accumulate and lead to the results you want. Another strategy Olson recommends is creating accountability. Whether it's through a mentor, a coach, or a friend, having someone to hold you accountable can help you stay on track when internal resistance kicks in. Knowing that someone else is expecting you to follow through on your commitments can provide the extra motivation you need to overcome resistance. External obstacles. Navigating life's challenges. In addition to internal resistance, Olson acknowledges that external obstacles, such as time constraints, financial pressures, or competing priorities, can also make it difficult to stick to the slight edge philosophy. However, he argues that these challenges don't have to derail your progress. Olson advises readers to adopt a flexible approach to the slight edge. If you're facing external obstacles, adjust your expectations and focus on what you can do rather than what you can't. For example, if you're too busy to work out for an hour, do a 10-minute workout instead. The key is to stay consistent, even if the scale of your efforts needs to be adjusted. He also emphasizes the importance of planning and time management. By scheduling time for your daily disciplines and prioritizing your long-term goals, you can navigate external challenges more effectively. Olson encourages readers to be proactive in identifying potential obstacles and developing strategies to overcome them. Chapter 13. Goal Setting. The Slight Edge Way. Why traditional goal setting falls short. In this chapter, Olson critiques traditional goal-setting methods that focus solely on achieving big, ambitious targets without accounting for the daily actions required to reach them. He argues that while setting goals is important, many people fail to achieve their goals because they focus too much on the end result and not enough on the process. For example, setting a goal to lose 30 pounds or save $10,000 is admirable. But Olson argues that without a clear plan for how to achieve these goals through small, daily actions, you're setting yourself up for failure. Traditional goal setting often leads to frustration and burnout because the gap between where you are and where you want to be feels overwhelming. Aligning daily actions with long-term goals, Olson presents an alternative approach to goal setting that aligns with the slight edge philosophy. Instead of focusing solely on the outcome, he encourages readers to break down their goals into small, daily actions that can be executed consistently. For example, if your goal is to lose weight, focus on walking 10,000 steps a day or eating one healthy meal at a time. If your goal is to save a significant amount of money, commit to setting aside a small percentage of your income regularly or cutting back on one unnecessary expense each week. By focusing on these small actions, you make progress toward your larger goals without feeling overwhelmed by the distance between where you are now and where you want to be. The slight edge approach to goal achievement. Olson's approach to goal setting focuses on process-oriented rather than outcome-oriented thinking. Instead of being obsessed with achieving the goal as quickly as possible, the slight edge emphasizes embracing the daily habits and disciplines that move you toward the goal. The idea is to fall in love with the process, knowing that if you consistently engage in small, positive behaviors, the outcome will take care of itself. He argues that this approach helps reduce the pressure and stress that often accompany traditional goal setting. When you focus on what you can do today, rather than worrying about whether you'll reach your goal by a certain deadline, you're more likely to stay motivated and committed over the long term. The beauty of the slight edge is that the daily actions themselves become fulfilling as you see incremental progress and feel a sense of control over your life. Tracking progress the slight edge way. Olson also emphasizes the importance of tracking progress, but not in a way that is solely focused on outcomes. Instead of measuring success based on whether you've reached your final goal, measure success based on your consistency in following through with your daily disciplines. For example, if your goal is to read 20 books this year, don't focus on counting how many books you finished. Focus on whether you're consistently reading 10 pages a day. If you've stuck with this habit for 30 days, you've made great progress, even if you're not yet close to finishing 20 books. By focusing on consistency and celebrating small wins, you'll build momentum and stay motivated over time. Olson suggests using habit trackers, journals, or even apps to monitor your daily efforts and reflect on your progress. This helps you stay accountable to yourself and provides tangible proof of the compounding effect of your actions. Chapter 14. Creating a culture of success, the slight edge, and building a supportive environment. In this chapter, Olson explores how the slight edge philosophy can be used not only for personal transformation, but also to create a culture of success within groups, organizations, or communities. He argues that while personal success is powerful, it becomes even more impactful when you spread the slight edge mindset to others around you. Whether you're leading a team, managing a family, or participating in a community, you have the opportunity to cultivate a culture where small, positive actions are valued and celebrated. Olson explains that when you build a supportive environment that reinforces the slight edge principles, everyone involved becomes more likely to succeed because they are encouraged, held accountable, and inspired by one another. The importance of accountability and community. One of the key elements of creating a culture of success is accountability. Olson emphasizes the value of being part of a group where people support each other's goals and hold one another accountable for staying consistent with their daily disciplines. Whether it's a formal mastermind group, an accountability partner, or a casual community of like-minded individuals, having support from others increases your chances of sticking with the slight edge over the long term. Olson suggests that creating a structured system for accountability, such as weekly check-ins, progress reports, or regular feedback sessions, helps keep everyone on track. When you know that others are counting on you to follow through with your commitments, you're less likely to procrastinate or quit. He also discusses the power of social influence. When you surround yourself with people who are committed to continuous improvement, their energy and habits influence you to do the same. A supportive, success-oriented environment creates a positive feedback loop where everyone's progress reinforces the group's collective success. Spreading the slight edge mindset. Olson encourages readers to actively spread the slight edge philosophy in their families, workplaces, and communities. He explains that one of the best ways to do this is by living the principles yourself. When others see the results you've achieved through small, consistent actions, they'll be more inclined to adopt similar habits. For leaders, Olson advises incorporating the slight edge principles into the core values of your organization. This might involve training employees to focus on incremental improvements, rewarding consistency and effort rather than just outcomes, and encouraging a growth mindset. Over time, This creates a culture where everyone is focused on long-term success rather than short-term wins. The journey of the slight edge is the never-ending journey as Olson brings his book to a close. He reminds readers that the slight edge is not a one-time strategy, but a lifelong approach to personal growth and achievement. It's not something you use temporarily to achieve a specific goal and then abandon. Rather, it's a philosophy that becomes a core part of your life, influencing every decision you make. Olson emphasizes that the slight edge journey never really ends. There will always be new challenges, new goals, and new opportunities to grow. What's important is that you continue to apply the slight edge principles, focusing on small, positive actions and trusting that time will work in your favor. Celebrating small wins and embracing patience, one of the key messages of the book's conclusion is the importance of celebrating small wins. Olson encourages readers to acknowledge and appreciate the small steps they've taken, even when the larger goal is still far off. He explains that by recognizing and rewarding yourself for consistency and effort, you create a positive cycle of motivation that helps you stay committed. Olson also stresses the value of patience. The slight edge requires faith in the process, especially when the results aren't immediately visible. He reminds readers that success is inevitable if they stick with their daily disciplines, even during the periods when it feels like nothing is happening. By embracing patience and trusting the compound effect, you set yourself up for long-term success. Living the slight edge philosophy, Olson concludes by offering practical advice for how to continue living the slight edge philosophy beyond the scope of the book. He encourages readers to regularly reflect on their progress, reassess their goals, and stay open to learning and growth. He also suggests revisiting the slight edge principles whenever you feel stuck or discouraged, as they can provide clarity and motivation. Ultimately, Olson's message is one of empowerment. He reminds readers that success is not reserved for the lucky or the talented. It's available to anyone who is willing to commit to small, consistent actions every day. By adopting the slight edge philosophy, you can take control of your life and move steadily toward the happiness, success, and fulfillment you desire. Final words of encouragement. In his final words, Olson leaves readers with a message of hope and encouragement. He acknowledges that the slight edge may seem deceptively simple, but its power lies in its consistent application. The journey to success isn't always easy, but by embracing small, daily disciplines and trusting the process, you have the power to transform your life. Olson challenges readers to start today with just one small action, whether it's reading 10 pages of a book, going for a walk, or saving a few dollars. This first step, though small, can set off a chain reaction that leads to massive success and happiness over time. The slight edge is always working, either for you or against you. The choice is yours. By applying the slight edge principles, anyone can achieve lasting success and happiness. The power lies not in dramatic changes, but in the small, simple choices you make every day.